Hi everyone, I am Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty, and I'll say hi to those watching the replay first because you actually see this part first before the people kind of realize that I am live. I was having a little technical difficulties, but I think I am good. Always, it's nice to know when people join in to make sure that the volume is working and everything is working correctly. I think I have everything good. So today I have some fun bookmarks to show you using the Bird's Eye View stamp set. I bought that a little while ago, so this is really kind of the first that I'm using it. We're going to use it for club next week too. Okay, Mary Lou is on. Hi. Excellent. We are on. I had a little technical difficulty, so my phone shut off. So I had to restart it up, which is why I was late. All right. Hi, Bonita. Excellent. So we are on. So I'll just tell you two things. I'll tell you now, and then I'll hopefully tell you at the end what's happening in July. Hi, Nancy. All kits are on sale. So I actually have a kit I'm just going to show you so you kind of know what comes in a kit. But they're all on sale for the month of August. And I also unveiled a just if I can do something, I can put it in the comments. I unveiled a class. There we go. I just put the link in the comments. A new online class that went live today. So that sign up is in there. It's all about blending brushes. Everything you need to know. I'm calling to become my blending brushes expert. There's over 100 minutes of video. There's a lot in the class. So that link is there. All right. So let me let's see. I can never figure out to get it straight. Those are the bookmarks. But before we get to that, I just wanted to show you. So the kits, they come in different sizes, but they all come in a really nice little box. And I've been known to, when I give a gift, I reuse these boxes. I ask for the box back because they're nice and sturdy. They're good storage. So this one I haven't even opened yet. This is the first that I'm opening. This is that new kit I mentioned last week. A little glare, called Festive Tag Kit. So there we go. You get to make all these cute little tags. And I don't know about you, but I always run out of time and I end up like saving the tags and then I never do the tags. So I love tag kits because I'll actually hand them to my daughter and she'll make them. And so then we have tags. So I think it ended up being like $13, unless that was a regular price. Might be, I don't know. But it was a good deal. It was a really good deal. It was on sale and everything. All right, so I just wanted to show you what a kit box looks like. Excellent. Oh, I'm glad that you guys are so happy and excited. And Debbie's here too. Perfect. So I always go on like the National Day calendar of like, what's today or what's tomorrow or whatever. And then I noticed that tomorrow, August 9th, is National Book Lovers Day. I have a cousin who's a librarian. I have a lot of readers in the family, and we love reading. I never have enough time, but I love bookmarks. I love handmade bookmarks. So these are different. Oops, hold on a second. Those are blanks. These are different versions of some really cute bookmarks that I made with that Bird's Eye View stamp set. So I colored them similarly. I'll just show you kind of the differences. And then this one, oh yeah, I'll show you this one. One in my right hand, I use the scallop die. In this one, I just cut a rectangle in case you don't have the scallop dies and you want to make them quick. All right, so, oh, Karen just mailed some cards. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And so I'm going to make one of this one, and I'm going to make one of these, and I'm going to show you how to stack the books on top of each other because there's only 3 books. So I'm going to show you how to stack them with a masking technique. So that is what we're doing today. All right, and August is really busy for me, which is all good busy, and I've been prepping to get things done ahead of time. So I've actually already planned out next week's live, and I'm stalling because I can't find my cutout white scallops there. Whew, I know I did them. So I cut out. Yeah, next week we're going to do these really cool sunset cards. They've been kind of going around the internet. This is my scallop contour dies, and I use this one. They're kind of nice because they stand alone, but you can stack them together. But I just wanted you to know where I got the scallop from. Where's that other one? You just cut a rectangle. So you can do either. So we are going to use Memento ink because we are going to color with blender markers. What are they called? Blends markers. Stampin' Blends. They have all different of the period of the years. There's different birds, so I'm going to use the same one, but you can see, aren't they just so cute? There's different birds, and the glasses fit on the birds, so they're separate. The glasses comes, there's actually three. There's that, I forget what it's called. The one little one, and then there's two other glasses. You can turn them into sunglasses. You can do glasses. So anyways, they're super cute. So we are going to do the same bird, which is this one. I'm going to use glasses. Oh, phew. Like, good thing I keep a block up here now because I need it. All right, and the books. So the first thing we're going to do for this one is we're going to stamp the books. And I'm going to use a mat. What do they call them? Pierce mat, stamping mat. Here we go. Because it's photopolymer, and so you can kind of see how thin that stamp is, and so this gives it a little cushion, unlike the what I call the red rubber, but they're really now called cling stamps. Those already have a built-in cushion. So I'm going to stamp right there, and I said I was using Memento because of the blends markers. Perfect. I'm going to put that hopefully there. I don't lose, oops. I'm reusing a block and I don't want to lose the little stamp that was on it. Take that off. So if you don't have lots of blocks, you just reuse the block that you have. All right, so now I'm going to stamp this. Just going to put it a little bit closer to me. Make sure I line it up. There we go, perfect. And then the glasses. He's cute without the glasses, but once you put the glasses on, I'm putting my head in there so I can see. I'll show you why, because I did one, and look, this, the glasses are a little askew, and it looks kind of funny. So I wanted to make sure I got to there. Hello! Someone just said they're joining late. Actually, it's weird. It doesn't have your name on there, but I'm glad you are joining in. Oh, there goes the stamp I didn't want to lose. Okay. So now we're just going to color it in. And I kind of kept my coloring, let's see if you can see them all, not difficult. I did a little blending. I didn't do a whole lot of blending. So these two top ones are a little bit lighter. They're the same color, the smoky slate, than these two dark ones because and I put X's on them so I know that they're kind of old. My tips are awful. They're shot, as they say. So they're, I don't know if you can tell, they're like, the nibs are gone. And so it's not very coloring. So I had new ones, but that's the difference. My older markers had less ink, they're a little lighter. So these ones are newer ones. So we're gonna use them. And I'll use this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little orange. So just for a little coloration. And there's so many good things about these markers. So when you color on top of colors, it doesn't ruin them. It just keeps them, the colors there. And actually, I'm going to add a little softness there. So as you'll see. So I tend to color in circles. Oh, and I meant to do that nose first. I'll do that after. And these markers don't really have lines. So when you color, the lines go away. So if you were going to use the Stampin' Write markers and you colored, you would see all the individual kind of the brush strokes. So you don't see those in these. So it kind of, I don't know if you can tell, but it softened up a little bit of that orange because it kind of blended them together. So this one, I left the, I didn't color underneath because I just left it so it was like glasses. And then this one, I colored it in. And I like both of them, to be honest with you. I think I'll just color in. And if I had a lighter shade, I would do that. But this is my light smoky slate, so I don't really have a lighter shade. But I can make the rest of it a little darker. So hopefully you can see, it just kind of blends it all in there. So I can go back and blend some more. And each time I add like a layer, it gets a little darker. So you can even add a little darkness just with one marker. I'm not even using the dark. I don't think I need to. I'm just going to use that light marker. And we'll let that dry. It will dry a little bit lighter. And let's just get the nose in there. So then for the books, I used, I think this is Pool Party. I also color on a kind of when things are on a diagonal. So I could go back, I have one layer of color there. I can go back and add another layer, and that will make it a little bit darker. Or I can use the darker one. So each time you add a layer of color, it gets darker. And I think I've pointed this out to you before, but there's two, if I can open it, there's two tips. There's a brush tip and a fine point tip. I tend to use the brush tip a whole lot more for coloring. It's like a paintbrush. I like to paint, so I like that paintbrushy. But this, if you have trouble controlling the tip, you can use the fine tip. I actually think the fine tip you get a little bit darker color, so that's another thing you can do is if you need to be darker, just use that part. I also like to turn my piece of paper around so I can always have the line on my left side and my marker on my right side. Again, I can darker if I want. I can even put a little darker on the bottom. And then this last one is bronze. It comes with ivy. Each of the blends markers come in a pair, so you get the light and the dark of each color together. I'm going to make this binding a little darker because I did the other ones, the other sides. Okay, so that's pretty simple coloring, blending. I did a little bit of blending. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my, colors this, Petal Pink, and I'm going to add a little bit of that color to the pages of these books. And I just did a little bit, so there's still, I don't know if you can tell, but there's still some white in there. But just to separate it, it looks like it's intentional from the piece of paper there. So that's kind of the easy coloring of that. Oh, Karen, you're making me jealous. You have a breeze and it's nice. It was pouring here earlier, and it's very, was what we call soupy, very humid. So what I did is I just cut a black piece of paper, cardstock, slightly bigger than my scallop. I just measured it and I put that on it. I could have made it even bigger, but I only wanted you to see a little bit of the black. And I played with different colors and I ended up with black. I had the black ink and I like that best. But you can make these any colors. You can see they come together really quickly. I made several. So what I did for the backing is I used the alphabet paper, and that's from, let's bring the whole pack up, but the Delightfully Eclectic, I think that's what it's called, paper, which you've seen me use lots and lots because I think I had 2 packs of it, and there's 48 sheets in it. I use it a lot for club because there's so many people in club and it just gives me a lot of pieces of paper. But there's the alphabet paper, and I thought it just kind of lent itself. And I didn't, you can see like this one was probably my first one because I started with the A, and it doesn't even matter what the letters are. So what I did Oh, I already trimmed this one. I was going to show you how I trimmed it, and I didn't bring up a piece of paper. I actually took the paper. This one's a little bit bigger. I took the paper, I took my little, not an owl, my little bird, and I kind of lined it up where I wanted it with the letters, and then just trimmed it right on the line. So I didn't even measure it. I just kind of used the lines of the paper as guide marks. And then I cut, that's the one disadvantage when I prep so early, I forget pieces. And then I just cut this, it's Pretty Peacock, a little bit bigger. Because this is, you know, not quite sturdy enough. So it needed something stronger as a backing for a bookmark. And then I glued that. I didn't use dimensionals or anything because, again, it's a bookmark, so it's going to get closed in a book. Whereas the dimensionals, it just wouldn't work. I just think they're so cute. And what I did is you can also, you know, place them on cardstock if you want it to be a card. That's a nice size for that. And so what I did is I made this card, so you can see really that's the same as this one. I just added some black glasses, and as I was doing that, it reminded me of Harry Potter glasses. So we'll have to figure out a way to turn that into Harry Potter. And obviously the he has Hedwig, who's an owl. This isn't an owl, but you could kind of play with that. But there's actually an owl set in the new mini the holiday catalog that looks like Hedwig, so you could definitely make Harry Potter things. And I just added a little circle that said hello. I'm going to actually send this to my daughter because she is studying abroad, and I thought that would be a cute card because she wears glasses. So I thought that'd be a cute card to send her. So now I can mail it to her tomorrow because I was waiting to show it to you to do it. Okay, so the other bookmark I have, it's similar and different. It's almost, yeah, it's actually virtually almost the same size. But what I used was the deckled dies. Again, you could just cut rectangles. You don't have to use dies if you don't have them, but I had them. So I use these deckled rectangles. And he has a little insider tip. In the holiday catalog, there are deckled circles. So there's, I don't know how many, but it's just like this. There's layers of circles, and they all have this kind of deckled edging. So I actually just got some catalogs in the mail. So everyone who has placed an order with me in the last year, certainly my club members, will be getting catalogs mailed to them, which is exciting. And if you haven't, but would like to order catalog and order products, I don't have that link on me right now, but if you go to my website under I think it's catalogs, there's a link to sign up for to request one. All right, so this, I used a different bird, so I'm just taking off the stamps. I used this little itty bitty bird. I probably could have used, well, he would have gone on the other side. You could use him too, but you'd lose a lot of the books, which may or may not be okay. I'll have to do some with that actually, because that is a very little bird for that big stack of books. All right, and I have my books already. So we're going to use one block. All right, and I should have everything prepped. So I have extra just in case I make a mistake. I'll leave that there just in case. All right. So what we're going to do first, because again, the books are only 3 books high, so we're going to mask. And there's kind of different ways of masking, so I'm just going to show you one. But I'm going to start with the bird. Let's see. Would the little bird fit on top of the stack of books? Oh, definitely. Definitely. Just like that. There's tons you can do. Mary Lou, we are going to use this stamp set for one of our club projects on Monday. And actually, and I did that first, and then I did this because I just thought it was really cute. All right, so I'm going to stamp my bird. like that. I'm going to stamp 2 just in case along the way I make a mistake. I don't have to take it off the block and back and forth. All right, so now I have my books. So before we stamp our books, we have to make a mask. Well, you'll see. So you can make a mask out of Post-it paper, or Stampin' Up! Now has masking paper. It looks just like this. You get 12 sheets, and you only need to use a little bit. So these are pieces that I haven't used yet, so they're left over. So I'll use those. Look at that, it's a piece that's left over. So I need a mask for both the books and the bird. So I'm going to stamp right. Oh, I didn't look. I didn't tell you. Did I stamp on the wrong side? Oh, I didn't. So there's peel away paper on the mask. So just be sure you stamp on the sticky part, because when I peel this away, I need to be able to stick it. All right, so let's make sure on this part, I think it's the top. All right, that part's sticky, so I'm going to leave it on the top. And, oh, I do have to put the bird back on there. Now I'm going to stamp. I'm going to have black fingers from all this moving around. So now what you're going to do, so those are my 2 masks, you're just going to cut them with scissors. They cut really easily. I'm going to cut right on the line. Sometimes when you do masks, you can leave a little white space around. But for this one, you want to cut right on the line, like that. And so, the magic of television, I already cut out a mask for the books and the bird. So I'll save these ones for later. You can reuse them for a while. As you'll see, this is my bird mask that I used for a whole bunch until it ripped. And this was my book one that I used a whole bunch, and it's still a little sticky. So they do last a long time. So you can just, what I'll do is I'll put them actually inside the case of my my bird set. So I'm going to take the little backing off. I don't need that anymore. Actually, I don't need that yet. So the first thing I'm going to do, actually we'll take this off too. Masking's fun. It kind of gives you perspective on what you're making for. Okay, so those are now stuck to my computer. So I'm actually going to start from the top. I'm actually going to start my stamping of books on the top, and you'll see why as we go through. But I am going to try to line it up with the bird, a little white space on the top. Okay, so it's like floating books. So now what I'm going to do is take my mask, and I just have to move it so I can actually see. I have my phone that's filming this is like right at my forehead level. And so you may see my head go in there. So now I'm going to stamp underneath. So I'm going to line up this edge with this part of the top of the book. But remember, because of the mask, you're not going to see that top of the book. You're only going to see, all right, so this is where I have to line it up. All right, so I did that edge. You can kind of see the top of the book. You'll actually see it when I take off. It looks funny, but don't worry because we have that mask on there. Oh, we need to put the mask on the bird before it's too late. Let's put the mask on the bird. Sometimes I forget. So then you take the mask off. Look at that. So I'm going to put it on the next books. Line it right up. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to stamp. Same thing. Okay. So I still lined up the top edge of the book with the bottom edge of the stack like that. And now, see, good thing I put the mask on the bird because the bird got a little bit, and that's fine. So now I'm going to put the mask. You can kind of see where I'm going here. So this mask is going to go along the, oh, no. Sometimes I do that. I do it in the wrong. I want it to go exactly on top. And then I'm going to line it up again. And now it's going all on top of the bird. But that's what we want. Because then when you take the mask off, first we'll take the book mask off. And then we'll take the bird mask off. Okay. So now the bird is standing in front of the books. Yay! It worked. And so these I can reuse because they are pretty sticky. Put those aside for a second. And then I'm going to show you what I did. I'm going to actually color it just like that one so it's easy. But I thought it'd be fun to write in the spine of a book. So I looked at a lot of my stamps. First, you need something really small, and then you need some words that kind of make sense. So I found this smile from, oh, I left it downstairs again. It is from, I don't know if you remember, it was a fruit set it was maybe 2 years ago. It had bananas, and it was kind of puns, and it was a cute little fruit set. So that's where it's from. So just look around, or you can actually handwrite. You can write someone's name. You could do whatever. Oh, it's really raining right now. So I'm just going to put it in that one. So it says smile. Ta-da is right. Phew, that's why I did an extra one. And so I'm actually going to color it the same. Let's do the light. I'll start with the light cuddle pink first. And I can actually do the entire stack. This one you can kind of do faster because I will go over some of it with the darker. The smile I will do again what I did with the purple just to make it stand out. Masking can be a lot of fun. Actually, I did several different masking techniques in the blending brushes class that went live today. And I used the masking paper for some of it. I used Post-it note paper for some of it. Just want to make sure they're not all the same. But masking's fun. Okay, I think they're a little bit different. And then I have these bundled because I had, for our club, you either can use the dark versions or the light versions. So I didn't want to mix them up. I'll post pictures of what we do for club. Actually, I'll film a video too, so you guys can all see and copy. Smile. And here we go. Let's wrap the band around this so I don't lose track of them. And then since I had done this color inside the books for the other one, on this one I just did a light gray. Again, I'm just doing like wisps, like nothing perfect. Oh, and this one actually, I'm very happy. It came out really good. I did another one that how I masked the books kind of slid over as I was stamping, so you have all this space. So it just looks kind of weird. So what I did is I stamped the bird and I stamped the glass. Now the glasses are pretty big on this bird. And then I just cut it out with scissors. So I'm just going to put it on top, but it fills in that space that's kind of empty with the glasses. So I'll color that one up and make it up so you can see too. So you may find that, if it doesn't line up, I had to do a couple practice runs so that, Just know that. All right, so for my bird, let's make this bird a little darker. Let's try. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna do the same thing. A little yellow right where, and that's what's nice with the coloring. You kind of just go with where a lot of the lines are. And I'll do his beak or her beak. I'm gonna send one of these. My husband's grandmother is still alive. She's 97 and she loves to read. And so I like to send her bookmarks. So she'll be getting one of these. Oh, this tip is awful. I'm gonna have to use this tip. I'll have to decide which one I send her. So yes, I'm doing that fine tip, which it works fine. It's just, you can see it's a little darker. Well, it still has to dry. It always comes out a little darker when it's wet. What color is that? I think it's balmy blue, and this is darker balmy blue. So I'm just going to add a few darkness to the wings here. Maybe a little bit there. Sometimes little shadows. Oh, no, I'm going a little crazy. We'll make sure his belly's kind of light. Now that looks kind of weird, but when you go back on top of it with a lighter color, that tips, I keep forgetting, I have to replace these ones. Then it blends it all together. So I'll let that dry for a second. If you had a little mistake, you had a little marker that went where you don't want it to go. I'm just seeing if I have any. They do have what's called a, what is it called? A color lifter. So you can, like this, you probably won't see it, but there's a little gray there. I can go on top of it. And when it dries, it kind of lifts the color, so it erases it. But you can also use it for shadows. So if I wanted to make that part of the bird a little lighter, you go on top, you let it dry, and some of the color will lift. And you can, that's where you can kind of put sometimes highlights for like where the sun comes in. You can do a lot of things with these. All right, so let's put this together. Little birds look like he has daddy's glasses on. Yeah, he does. That's exactly what it looks like. This is just older paper, but I thought it matched. Kind of fun. It was fun paper. I actually don't have a lot of designer paper. I need to order some. All right, so that just gets on here. And again, we are just doing it flat because it's a bookmark. It's going to go inside of a book. You could also stamp, like if you didn't have like such little words, again, you could write with a pen or something, but you could stamp something, and I might, because I have a little black ink from my fingers has gone on here. Fortunately, the color lifter doesn't lift that. It only lifts up the marker. All right. So let me, and then this one I did, this one's I think a little bit more masculine with the pecan pie paper. And I did more, I tried to think of like what colors book spines are like in an old library. So kind of darker colors than these ones. So let me put them all out so you can see them. I'll put the card out too. I think that's so cute. And then, I mean, really, they're all kind of the same. You just see this one, I didn't color the glasses underneath. You could, if you were making sunglasses for the birds, I would use like the light, you could use, depending on your sunglasses, the bronze color. Where is it? I know I colored the bronze. Or you could use a gray and then just make your bird a different color for sunglasses. You can do that. So I'm just looking around to make sure, but I think that's all my bookmarks. That's what I have. Well, good. I'm glad you like these. Let me put myself back. Actually, let me do it this way so you can see both. You can see both me and the bookmarks. All right. So thank you for joining. So thank you for joining live. You guys remembered it was now Tuesdays at 3 Eastern, whatever. Oh, my hands always go in the way. Whatever time frame it is for you. And if you're watching the replay, thank you. And then just to remind you for August, all the kits are on sale. They're either 10, 20, or 30% off. When you're ordering a kit, if you see one that says currently unavailable, that means it's coming back. If you don't see it, like if you know you saw it before and you don't see it again, that means it's gone forever. So that's kind of a little clue as to if it's coming back or not, if it sells out. And then also my class, my blending brushes class. And I probably should have done blending brushes today to kind of advertise it that way, but I didn't. So that is going on. So I put the link in the comments for that class. Mary Lou says, did you give any measurements for the base of them? I did not, but hold on. I just kind of measured however the paper was to make it a little bit bigger. But this is 3 3/8 wide by 4 5/8. But however you want yours to be, books are all different sizes. So sometimes you have bookmarks that are skinny, sometimes you have them thicker, taller, however it works with the paper that you're using. And I actually which I didn't show you, I just kind of used that typewriter paper. I just measured it on top and just cut along the lines. So I didn't even really measure it. I just used the lines. You're welcome. Okay, so I think that's what we have. Next week, we're going to do some sunset cards that are really cool. And we're actually going to later in the month, I forget now which week, we're going to make these cute little 3x3 cards with the birds that are super cute too, because I just think it's fun. It's back to school. It's, kind of timely. Okay, so thanks very much for watching, for tuning in both live and on the replay. And I will see you guys next Tuesday at 3 Eastern. Bye-bye.